Hello, hello. Hi, lovebirds. It's me, it's your girl, Angel. And I am going to be joined shortly by Miss C. Imani Williams, who is an awesome love bud and the author of Rootwork. Hey, Eclectic Coffee Shop, I see you. Thank you for joining. I'm super, super duper excited. We are talking about mental health because today month is Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay, so we don't want to neglect that because what we have to do every day is deal with our mental health. Our spiritual, our emotional well-being goes into our mental health. And at LuvEnlightens, we really super duper support that, and that we're just not emotional beings or physical beings, but we are spiritual beings. And when we take care of our spiritual health, that helps us with our decision making, which will embolden our emotional health and our mental health. Okay. Hey, Roland, I appreciate you being here too. What's up? Yes. So this is just beautiful. This is all love. My full name is Angela Sharice Alley, and some of you know me by Angela Sharice, but I want you to know that God changed my name, and I am going now by Angel. I have to own it. I really have to own it that God changed my name. And actually, it's not so much of a change because my father named me Angela Sharice to mean Angel of Love. And I have gone closer to that, and God has shown to me what he meant for my life. I be crying, y'all, because just when I think about the goodness of God and how awesome things have been, even during the trials and tribulations and the things to get through, it is good to still be able to go through and have joy. And I have learned God to be my sanctuary. During times, good times and bad times, it's beautiful to be able to have God as my sanctuary. One thing is, you see me bouncing around with this here phone, and I'm going to try to get it settled. I wanted to go on with on my phone, but I was not able to do that. And I'm sorry, I said my phone. I'm on my phone, but I really wanted to be on my computer. But I was having some technical difficulty. So you know what we do? Go right on around it. We got to go right on around it. Can you relate? Come on, wave back to me if you know how can relate to that. I'm sure you can. So, oh, Ricky Sewell, that's you. You know what? While I'm waiting for Imani, I want to hear from you, Ricky. How have you been? And what has encouraged you to join today? I would surely like to know. So I'm still waiting for Imani, and I trust that she'll be coming on at any minute. Can you bear with me while I work on fixing this little minor problem? And to me, it is a minor problem compared to all the things that we do go through and endure. So I bought this beautiful, lovely tripod, and I'm going to put it in position so that you guys can see me. Forgive me. Bear with me, y'all. It's almost over. Bear with me. There we go. This is called working under stress. When there is a will, there is a way. I have the will to be here, to fight through, and to make LuvEnlightens possible. LuvEnlightens was conceived in 2011. Really started out probably earlier than that for me. I've always believed in the beauty of humanity and have been grieved in spirit by a lot of the times when we're not in harmony with one another. And so for myself, I deeply want to harmonize humanity. And the way I see that is through God's eyes is first acknowledging that we are all children of God. We are all made in the likeness and the image of God. All of us. My brown skin, me as a woman, you as a man or woman, and I accept trans. I love y'all. I love everybody. And that's my goal. And my belief, it is for us to learn to love one another, just as God has given to us. Our greatest commandment is to love one another. Love God, ourselves, and one another. And how do we do that? We start learning all the things about mercy, forgiveness, and grace, and fortitude and endurance and stuff as we really push in more and more to love, to perfect love, to have love perfected in us, and so that we can give love more perfectly to ourselves, to our loved ones, to a stranger, to a person in need. When you really love, you show up. You show up. And that's what's most important, is to show up. Okay? So I'm here, and I thank you for showing up. I'm still looking for our girl. I'm going to have to send her a little message and see what is going on, so that we can get her here on the thing. She might be trying to join in too. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep on talking with you, okay? Because this is important, okay? As you see, I'm wearing the t-shirt, Love Enlightens and t-shirt, Expression Beats Depression. I came up with this saying because I'm someone who has dealt with depression most of my life. I've come to realize it has been depression-based. I had asthma as a child, started at 4. I was diagnosed, and from what I've learned is that asthma comes from being anxious, which is also connected to mental health, right? We know that. And later in life, in my teens, I developed some strange, it's now becoming more common, I realize, called angioedema. And the doctor told me it was coming up in me because of stress. Okay. I was suppressing things. I was holding things in. I was sitting on my voice. I was not allowing myself to speak. Whether someone told me don't speak anymore or not, I was stuffing things in. That was my coping mechanism as a child. Hello, Gypsy Glamour. I appreciate you being here. We're talking about Expression Beats Depression, and sharing my history with depression and anxiety. Depression and anxiety is something we all go through, so we can all have compassion for one another when we see somebody else going through that. Okay? Compassion is key. Compassion is key, y'all. Where's my Bible? I need to have my Bible out. Okay, so here we go. We have Imani coming. I'm going to be talking about compassion more in the next coming days or weeks, and probably ongoing, no joke. Because compassion, as the Bible has given to us, comes from not only people who we know, it comes from strangers. It's beautiful what the word says about that. It's been illuminated to me, and I want to give it to you too. So I have a request coming through, and is that this is my first time doing a live. Hey, Imani, what's up, girl? How you doing?
Sis,
Hey, love bug.
had to find you. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm wonderful. I'm feeling great.
Good.
How are you?
Good. Good.
Yes.
Had to find you.
I'm glad you did. I was here waiting for you
Yeah,
and looking for you no matter what. I said,
I
I know
know.
she's coming. I know.
So,
I'm
ignore my DMs
okay. Yeah,
that are
let me
waiting
check.
for you.
We
Just ignore those.
been waiting for this time, and I thank you for joining. And let me just take a minute to introduce you. And this time I've introduced myself and Love Enlightens and shared our purpose of this meeting is to talk about mental health awareness.
Yeah.
And as I said before, it's going to be a candid conversation. But for those who are on and who will come onto this later, I want you to introduce you to the beautiful, amazing C. Imani Williams. Can we see your face a little bit more? I see that beautiful painting behind you, sis, and I know you push this
Yeah.
feminine mystique. I want to see your face. Yeah,
There we
there you
go.
are. And more
Hi.
of you. I want more of you. Imani, oh, for y'all who don't know, I've just gotten to get to know her more. She and I, we met in 2013, Independence Day, wasn't it? And that's going to say something. Thank you, Lord.
It was around there, yeah.
It was because that was a festival at Target downtown in downtown LA at the African American Museum. It was Target was doing
Yeah.
like a fundraising thing, and they had called for vendors. And I was a vendor out there with LuvEnlightens t-shirts. And you were a vendor out there, as you are an entrepreneur as well, sharing your love. And you had the Annie Lee collections and some other, your ear art, which she does ear art. This is one of hers, okay? Black Lives Matter. What you see her wearing is her ear art. She has other beautiful, wonderful pieces. It was hard for me to choose which one, because we've been supporting each other throughout the year. Since 2013 to 2022, we are here. And it's been a beautiful, growing relationship. We really connected over when Imani saw this T-shirt that with the title "Expression Beats Depression." She saw it, and when we just ended up getting to talking about mental health. Hey! And Valentine's Day, I got a chance to meet her again in person after all these years. I think that was our first time after 9 years, huh?
Yeah.
Actually,
We
yeah.
had planned some intermittent things, and then, I moved from California to Nevada to Las Vegas, and so that held us up, and then COVID held us up. But you know what? When we connected this year, it was right on time.
And
Right? Because we've been in contact. We've been in contact, virtually and on the phone. But to see you again in person,
yeah,
that was beautiful.
it was beautiful. And it was on Valentine's Day. Look, we done met on Independence Day, getting independent, and we met again
How
on
about that?
and then we meet again on Valentine's Day, the day to share love. Okay, come on, Jesus. I'm
How about
excited about
that?
that. And I didn't even realize it had been 9 years that we hadn't even physically seen each other until then. We have really been connected in spirit, and I'm very, very thankful. Very thankful for you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, same
so
here.
I want you guys to know I've gotten to know more of her. She blessed me with her book, Rootwork, Triumph Over Trauma. This is something Imani has been working on for quite a while. She is a gifted, talented poet, and I really understood it. I listened to it, and I appreciated you sharing your trials, the things that have been difficult for you over your lifetime. And if it's okay, I'd like to share with people because you weren't afraid to share it. And I think that's one.
Yeah, please. If it helps someone else,
That's right.
then that's wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I believe in transparency. There ain't no sense in ducking and shotting and hiding what we've been through. Not if we're trying to come out of it and get to the other side of it.
that's right.
So
That's right.
I don't mind sharing. Absolutely, go right
Yeah.
ahead.
So you shared about being sexually molested, being fingered by your grandfather, what that meant. You know, I, when I heard that, it struck me, and the way you develop it and share with it in your story. You have woven it in such a way that mm, you can hear the pain. I can hear your child self. I hear your adult self. I hear you as an observer and the one who's experiencing it as well. And also trying to understand all the other people in your life, your father, your mother, your sister, the closeness that you had. I love hearing you say mommy. I love hearing you say daddy, because you still sound like a little girl on those things that has this very enduring love for your parents. And that kind of sparkle that you always feel like mommy and daddy are always going to protect me. And I can always go to mommy and daddy for everything. And I could feel how painful it's been for you. I know we've talked over the years about your grief about losing your mother and your father, but I heard it on a whole different other level from hearing your voice.
And that just meant so much. And then how trying to understand your own sexuality when your first experience was robbed and taken from you. I don't think people understand that. You're giving me strength to tell my own experience. I was fondled by a woman who I loved and trusted, and yes, she was from the church. And where's my box of Kleenex? Lord knows I need my tissue with me. God help me. Thank you. I got one little tissue. I'm sure I'll be running out to get the box. But you know, I thought about it, and I haven't shared this with you. So we just being candid,
Right.
what that meant. Am I a lesbian? Am I bisexual? Because my first excited experience related to my sexuality, that awakening, came from a thief. Whether she knew it or not, it was something that was taken.
And we have to talk about that, and the fact that you say that this happened from someone that was in the church. That adds so many different layers to it in terms of how most people that have been experienced abuse respond.
Yes.
So you already have this power dynamic of it being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have it situational, environmental,
yes,
culturally, you're supposed to stay in a child's place. So all of this digs at our spirits, right? Until it's addressed.
Yeah. And what just came to me when you said that is, how do we form boundaries? How we form boundaries even as a child, because we're talking to people who are adults, who are the ones who we have entrusted with giving us direction. So if they are unwell and unhealthy, and they're passing on something that is unwell and unhealthy, then this is also part of the root work of uprooting that which was I'm going to say a sin. When I say a sin, it's like, yeah, it was a sin. There was a seed that was not planted. And there's a scripture in the book of Matthew somewhere I read, as Jesus answered and said, any seed that was not planted by my Father will be plucked up from the root. And I love that, because I'm like, okay, God, you see, it's not for me to hold it against you, what other people did. And I see that that I was abused or this was wrong. And you're going to pluck that sickness, that disease, or that part out of me. And that's the encouraging part, to be able to share with somebody else as well.
Absolutely.
So tell me and tell more what you want, Miss Imani, about yourself, about this root work, what you've been doing then and now. I thank you for wearing LuvEnlightens. So come on.
Thank you. I love my tea. Yes, all of them.
Yes.
LuvEnlightens. Even as a healer, I am still on the healing journey for myself. I think it's an ongoing process. I think that there are levels and layers to it. So I am still growing. I am still learning. There is so much, if we tie it into current events and cultural affairs, so much going on right now in 2022 that bears addressing on a community level, on a village level.
Yes.
We just cannot continue to spin in circles. And so I am someone who has a long and a strong history of community organizing, of social justice work, of human justice work, and fighting not only for myself and my rights as a woman first, a Black woman, a queer Black woman who's a grandmother charged with making sure certain things are in place for the babies and future generations. Like, I take it all very seriously,
Yeah.
and I really don't separate it. Like community is community, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are people, and that we work with and work together in concert with, to change things for the better and to keep people safe and protected. And I think um, that as I am charged with not only living my passion, but living what I believe my purpose is, why God has me here, why God kept me and brought me through so much,
Yes.
is to be a service, is to help others recognize that I don't care what you've been through, doesn't matter. You matter.
Mm-hmm.
You matter. Doesn't matter what you've been
That's
through.
right.
You matter.
That's right.
What do you want? What does making it look better look like and feel like to you? Let's talk about that.
Yes.
And let's see where we can get you plugged in. Because I have to believe that there are more people concerned with well-being for themselves and for our communities
Mm-hmm.
than what is actually shown across the media and throughout media on a daily basis. Right before we got on, I was um, I was watching some news. I watch it here. I watch the Vegas news, and I always watch news at home.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up on a Houston station, and they were showing this broadcast from Detroit, where earlier this week, I guess these two young sisters met up at a gas station to do a clothing exchange, and it went bad. I mean, it turned left really quick. So one of the sisters got, enraged, got back in her car, ran over one of the girls, drove around the gas pumps, came back through and hit two more cars. And then got her baby out the back seat of the car and was walked off.
Jesus.
I I can't explain any of that. But I do know that if you are on the opposite end of that
Mm-hmm.
transaction gone bad,
Yeah.
you will now think twice about meeting anybody anywhere about anything. So these
Right.
are these trauma causing situations that we just have to really think about everything right now.
Yeah.
How we move out here in these streets.
Yeah.
There are clearly, some folks with a lot of anger management and some issues that they have not worked through
Mm-hmm.
that leave their home and go out, and you just don't need to add that to everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think we need to have some real heart to heart conversations, um, just about how to get from point A to B.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think there is a lot going on in all of our hearts and minds, and it is very overwhelming and stressful for all of us around the world. I think we're all feeling a certain amount of stress, especially since COVID. It has brought things up. When you say community is community, I want you to expound on that for me, because what I see is that people don't realize that we are all neighbors, that we are all neighbors in a global community. We share one earth. We have one home. Nobody has stock in the earth. Everybody has equal right in terms of what we deposit and put into the earth, because we are taking so much back. And how we treat each other is affecting the whole thing. I think the ecosystem is off because we are missing how to treat one another. And expression-based depression came out because, not only because of my own experience, and I found I got to express myself to beat depression. It was also, I learned from it that, and I wanted to impart to other people, is that you have to express yourself in a healthy way to avoid imploding or exploding. Because trying to hold things down too much and suppress it in our voice, and it starts getting into our system, into our skin, and it starts coming out in real foul, nasty, whether it be disease or we're snapping at people. And certain things, a wrong is a wrong. A wrong is a wrong, you know? Point blank, period. I'm glad you really emphasize you care about all people because I know you do. I do too. So it's more about the character, and we talk about the police. I'm upset about, I love the police. I know the police are necessary. I'm not even going to say that any kind of community needs to go without it because we do have people who implode and explode. We need some people who are trained to be able to go out there with compassion and with impartiality, serving communities.
Serving.
And they are in
I'm
situations.
get that.
Very different situations. But you have to serve and serve people and keep people. And this is for everybody. When we are in a position, someone told me before, every job that you do is in service to someone else. You're not doing the job just for you get a paycheck, but the job is a service to someone else.
Right.
That was a transformative thought because I realized person at the grocery store, anything. You're serving somebody else.
For anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just went on a interview for I was interviewing to be a wedding officiant with a chapel, and I got there and it turned out that they were actually making this one position 3. They were only paying you for 1. And I said, you know what? I thank you for your time today, but I'm going to excuse myself because I want to enjoy marrying people. I would be so angry at myself doing a job for doing 3 jobs for 1 pay for what this chapel was offering wedding officiants.
Come on.
I said no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm with one. And then I do my private ones, and so I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So in being of service, because that is that I take that role very seriously. In being of service, anytime we say that we are what we're doing to bring us fulfillment inside, we have to enjoy it, and I want to enjoy doing that. So whatever job it is that people do, I'm hoping that they can find something that brings them some fulfillment in their line of service, so that it does not become something that one resents.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I have something that I read today. God led me to, and I want to share it here. Okay, it's a random reading. It comes from this book, Words of Courage and Confidence. Words of Courage and Confidence by Sue Peton-Thoel. And honestly, I hadn't read this book, and I've been going through my books. Hey, Sharice, I appreciate you being here, girl. But I opened it up today. God led me to this, and this is the page that I opened it up to. Page 88, Double New Beginnings, Double Portion of a New Beginning. Come on. All right. Editing out guilt. Women are plagued by feelings of guilt. But I learned an interesting thing recently. Guilt is a strictly English word. No other Germanic or Indo-European language has it. We need to follow the lead of these other cultures and edit the word guilt and guilt feelings out of our lives. Feeling guilty drains our confidence and becomes a habit if we have been conditioned to be overly responsible for our own and others' behaviors and attitudes. Millie, a client in her mid-50s, came to see me because she felt depressed most of the time. As we talked, it became apparent that Millie was a responsibility sponge who sopped up everyone's messes. While discussing her unemployed 30-year-old son, Millie sighed repeatedly and said, "I wonder where I failed." When I asked her why it was her fault her son was not working, she looked at me with surprise and said, "Well, because I'm his mother." Exploring Millie's background uncovered a family structure built on guilt and shame. Because of her conditioning, Millie got in the habit of assuming responsibility for everything and everyone around her. Yep. I just want to say, put a pin in that and say, can you relate? Does this touch on you in any way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Since she,
A lot of millies out here
come on, but that, yeah,
mad at themselves because they didn't say no.
okay. Since she, like the rest of us, had no real power over anyone's actions but her own, she felt discouraged and depressed. Millie decided to edit guilt out of her life using the following technique. When you begin to experience guilt, ask yourself these questions. What have I really done to feel guilty about? If there is something specific, decide whether you can rectify it, and if so, how?
Mhm.
Why am I responsible for this? Does this feeling and circumstance remind me of a pattern in my family? Do I want to keep feeling guilty about this? And the answer to the last, if the answer to the last question is no, take a sheet of paper and write down what you feel guilty about. Now, with the biggest, reddest marker you can find, cross it out, delete it. If you find yourself still mirrored in guilt, remind yourself, guilt is a word and feeling I am editing out of my life. And the affirmation says, I give myself permission to erase guilt from my vocabulary and my life. I have the courage to accept responsibility appropriately.
Yes. Appropriate.
Yes. Or what does that resonate for you?
Um, I have been known in the past, I was a people pleaser. And so that resonates with me on a lot of levels.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know how I used to move. And I don't move that way anymore.
Yeah.
At this point, I would rather be mad at me than me be mad at me. Because if I'm mad at me, I could be a self-destructive so-and-so. I really can.
Yes.
And I've had, hone a box, a toolkit
Mm-hmm.
to pull from to help me deal with the emotions. I've done anger management. I keep it real.
Come on.
Court appointed anger management. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that I just woke up one day and said, "Ooh, I'm just tired of being angry." No, I had to get some help with understanding that
Yeah.
I needed to do something about that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, alcohol addiction will have you all types of places. Anger management, you might need some cool out time, all of that.
Yeah.
And so whatever our isms are, particularly if we have been or are in the throes of overcoming addiction,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot to feel guilty for.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, I know about moving through addiction from one side to the other is that not everyone is happy that you are changing,
Mm-hmm.
particularly if it's been something that's chronic that has gone on for years and years.
Yeah.
People get very used to being in your box, and that is where they want you to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So as you start waking up and taking
Mm-hmm.
responsibility and paying attention, they want to know, what is all this new? Who is all this newness about? And that's something that I think that anybody that has been through anything and has heard the background chitter chatter from family or loved ones or friends,
Right.
to really just take a look at that and examine it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
because not letting go of guilt, like you said, will have us implode or just
Mm-hmm.
explode. It's gonna come out
Yeah.
one way or the other.
Yes. Yes.
And so we need to take responsibility for what we need to feel like we need to make amends for, so
Mm-hmm.
that we can feel better, so that we can let it go and not beat ourselves up, because that beating yourself up again, just continues the cycle, a dysfunctional cycle.
Mm-hmm. I like that you said make amends for what you can do. I think that's really powerful I think when people do that, it moves from that place of guilt and shame of personal responsibility and say, okay, and self-acceptance and self-love, and say, okay, mm, I kind of got out of pocket, or that wasn't exactly what I wanted, and then you say, if you can make amends, that means you have compassion for yourself and the person that you harmed. I think that is so important. It is so important. So thank you for illustrating that.
Yes. And I think it's also important that we note that I think it's important that we are aware that there are, a range of people. Nothing's a monolith.
That's right.
And that there are narcissists out here that will take your guilt and twist it so much
Mm-hmm.
that you have lost any footing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to start over.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? And work, build myself back up
Right.
emotionally and become stronger.
Yeah.
We really have to watch who we put our energy into and where we place our energy.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if there's one word that I just want to throw across the screen, is boundaries. We
Come
are
on.
responsible for setting our boundaries.
Yes.
That beautiful person that you're in love with, they can't set your boundaries for you.
Mm-hmm.
Your mama can't set your boundaries for you.
Mm-hmm.
The kids can't set. You gotta set them,
Yes.
and then you have to be the enforcer.
Mm-hmm.
That is our charge
Yes.
for self growth, for self love, for I'm a big proponent of don't just talk the talk. You gotta walk the walk too. So how not just what are you presenting, when you're on social media, how do you really get down, and are you really being the best that you can be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because many of us have spent time being afraid of becoming the best that you can be.
Yeah.
We've been real scared of that.
Yeah.
So we do a whole bunch of things to sink the mission,
Yeah.
from listening to other people to tripping over our own feet because we won't set boundaries, or you get so far on into it, and you get distracted by something.
Mm-hmm.
Commitment is a choice.
Yeah.
Commitment to self-growth is a
Yes,
choice,
it is.
because we can live without boundaries. We can absolutely do it. It's gonna be crazy.
Yes.
We invite insanity in that way,
Mm-hmm.
but we can do it. It's an option.
Yes.
I got tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
Said no more.
Yeah.
No more. You can it's just my peace. You can't have it.
That's right.
I work too hard to obtain it.
Yeah.
Because I know what I used to be doing. I know what I've been through, and I know what I could be doing. I choose not to.
Worthy. We know now that we are worthy of love. We are worthy of peace. We are worthy. We don't have to. There's a lot of things that people can do, women or men. I'm a woman, so I can't speak as a man, okay, or a trans. But I know that I think what is human is that we can hide behind a lot of stuff and a lot of things that may be good, but not everything is the best for you. It may be good for somebody else, and this is for each and every person to examine for themselves. If something comes up for you and piques your spirit, you have to ask yourself and go to God and ask the Holy Spirit to deliver and help you to have understanding about it. So we all have to examine ourselves. So if there is something that we are hiding behind and we get fulfillment from, but it's still not really truly in alignment with what we're supposed to do, then we're going to be checked about that. You and I both shared that we have a background in studying psychology. I have a BA in psychology and a master's in behavioral health. And you yourself, Imani, what's your educational?
Counseling and one in creative nonfiction writing.
That's right. So y'all talking to two women who are educated, who know about well-being, and how the psychological part works and can relate it to our physical well-being. And we're sharing with you from personal experience and what do you call it? From what we know from book smart to street smart to living it, right? So that's really good. I like that. When you said boundaries, yeah, this is all about boundaries. Um,
I mean, it's not new news, but I want to say hey to Sassy Tiffy and Zeta. Zeta came over from Facebook. She just said, "What's your Instagram? I'm trying to find you."
I see it
So
too.
thank you for joining us, ladies.
Yes,
Um,
thank you all for being here.
and if you have something to say, please type
Type,
it.
yeah. Hmm.
It's just us right now. Um, and I always say, I don't care, and Lizetta knows this, I don't care whether one person shows up or 500, I give it my all because if you take the time to tune in, I want to make it worth your while. So I just want to thank my sister again for inviting me on. Um, I'm just, I'm just really concerned with a lot that's going on,
Yeah,
and this has been an amazing day,
yeah,
you know. And I just see so many ways where I am able to actually be of service.
yeah.
Um, and that says something. I had an interview today for a full-time writing position with a black publication that I really respect.
Good.
And even if I don't get it full-time, I know that this editor is going to make sure that I'm a contributor.
That's right.
Um, we just we vibed right,
Hmm.
and these black publications have, they're supposed to be a service too, bringing news to our communities that we don't get through mainstream media, and not everybody lives up to the charge. And what I am sure about is that anybody else where I'm going and giving my time and my creative energy and my thought process, it has got to be a good fit, or I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I'm just I can't. I just don't have the emotional capacity
right.
anymore. And again, I was waiting for this getting ready for our live, and I got a DM that said, "Imani, would you like to? I'm looking. I need someone to do the voice work for this audio book. Would you like to audition?" And the poetry just spoke to my heart, so it's all it's done. And my audition will be in, and fingers crossed on that because that's something I want to do more and more and more and more and
Yeah,
more of.
yeah,
Um, so and I say all that to say, because I keep it real. So my main phone is off right now. Like, it has been a tight start to May. It won't be. Good things are coming,
yeah, yeah. Come on.
Um, and what I know is to tie the knot. What I know is not to go into a pity party. What I know is to keep pushing.
Yeah,
Um, you know,
yeah.
um, I'm learning a lot. I'm still learning. I'll be 58 on June 1st. I'm still learning.
Hmm.
Um, and my latest teacher has been to treat people the way I want to be treated. I'm just reminded
Good.
of that so much. Like, I don't know if it's Vegas, but it's a spirit of greed here. I know scammers are everywhere,
Mm,
but in my work, in your work, when we're dealing with spirit stuff, um, and changing people's lives and getting them to see their worth,
yes.
that is actually it is actually harder to get people to invest in themselves than it is to, I don't know, sell a ticket to a $5 rap concert.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Uh,
because it's the work is different. We are asking people to um, open themselves up to really doing some deep research on self,
mhm.
which opens the doors up to a whole lot of other things that they may or may not be um, ready to
Mhm.
deal with.
Mhm.
So, like, the population is very, very specific. We want people to come to the table ready to do the work, and ready to see where that takes them. And that can be scary.
Yeah,
But I know that that is my purpose.
Yeah,
I know it is,
that's
you
right.
know.
You've always been committed to that from the first day we met till now. So uh, I know it's happening for you. And I want to say, um, going back to tying this together, that we are have that background of psychology. I was thinking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And as you think about um, what's going on today in the world and how it grieves your spirit to see things, um, I believe it's that delta. It's a triangle, but right now in my mind I'm calling it a delta because it's a matter of change, right? At the bottom, there's our basic human needs to have food, water, shelter. Um, and then the other need is for justice. We all have the right. We need to be done justly. That is not just for one person or another. When our spirits are done wrong, we know. We know. Um, and so that's for everybody, everybody. And it will always be a struggle when people are not done justly, that ouch is going to come out. And what helps is if you say, how did I hurt you? Not what's your problem? You don't need to be, or that judgment or condemning and stuff. It will always come out. Even a child knows when a parent has done them wrong, and they will speak on it too. And it's important for parents to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Okay? Yeah, I was talking out of anger and spite. You was really getting on my nerves. I'm tired. You asking me question over question. I feel myself getting short. So we have those needs for justice. We also have love and belonging needs. We all want to be loved. We all need community. We all need to belong to someone or to something. That's what we're talking about. We're looking for our tribe. Give me my tribe. I'm a part of the love tribe. Give me my tribe. People want to love and love deeply. Empaths. Just people just love. People like to laugh. I love being in those
Right.
company of people who are kind and persevering and just going on. Just like you said, I love it. And so at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is self-actualization. So we're all coming from our basic needs going up to this delta, the top, for change of we need all these things. We need to self-actualize. When we go through them, we may touch on a little bit of self-actualization and realize we have to go through things again, but they're all necessary. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And with that, I see that you are actualizing, my sister. We're getting close to our hour, but I want to know, thank you for keeping it real, girl. You said, I'm here. My phone is turned off right now. No, whatever that situation is, but my situation is changing. I got skills, I got love, I got talents, and I'm gonna keep working this because money changes and comes and goes. But what hasn't changed is this desire, and I'm here to live my life and live my purpose. And you're not dealing with that. You're not attached to any guilt or shame with that your phone ain't on. So you showed up. You showed up. You are wherever you are, and you got your phone working to be here. Thank you, and thank you, God, because so many people are going
Yes.
through hard times, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it does pass. Now, I wanted to know.
It does pass.
It will pass. It will change. And sometimes we have good, we have bad. I'm going to be talking about height and depth, and how those heightened depths reflect our emotional well-being, as well as how to build a cheer squad, and more about expression beats depression. I'm glad you're wearing the t-shirt that I created, I'm perfect, because hey, it's a reframing of imperfect. And I looked at the word perfect, and I looked at it in the Bible, and perfect says to make better. Then I looked at the definition Webster's, and there are 3 types. Perfect is a verb, a noun, and an adjective. And we mostly think about perfect in terms of being like pristine, no errors, nothing wrong, nothing fallible. But perfect, a verb, or perfect, means to make better, to improve, to get better. And that's what I'm saying. I'm perfect. I'm
Yeah.
getting better. I'm improving. And taking that stigma out of being imperfect. I'm so wrong. I didn't do it right. But did I learn? Did you learn? Are you getting better? Are you improving? And that's what self-acknowledgement and amends and perseverance means. I thank you for help being a part of that in this discussion today. I want to hear from you what you want to impart to the people and how they can keep going on with you. And then we're going to close this out and probably
Okay.
meet again.
Well, just three things I want to say, to anybody that's listening, and anybody that checks this out later, is to one, be true to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
practice self care. That's our number one. Two would be to treat people the way that you want to be treated, and three is never give up on yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do it all right. You don't have to do it all right today. It's okay to fuck up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's not how you fall, it's how you get back up.
That's right.
And you want to get back up. So, and you do that again with a positive toolbox, full of resources, accessible resources. Um, get you some breathing exercises, some meditation, some yoga in there,
Mm-hmm.
some reading that feeds the spirit. Um, Maybe get off social media for a minute and take a walk. Just, get out, get some nature. Do the things that just calm the spirit.
Yes.
That's it. And the rest will come.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet your mind and the rest will come.
Yeah.
And folks are welcome to follow me across social media at CImaniWilliams.com. Free downloads available on domestic violence, on grief and loss, on self-publishing, on handling microaggressions like a boss.
Mm-hmm.
I also have upcoming toolkit table talks for self-publishing that tie into that freebie, as well as jewelry design workshops, which are really fun. Youth are invited to come virtually with a paying parent. They're only $30 if you need the kit of the beads and shells that we're going to use. Those are 10. So it's a really affordable, relaxing way to spend some time with your young person, and you can turn it into either something where you gift pieces that you make and craft, or you can start your own business. So always thinking forward, thinking community. How can we connect? And Afrocentric jewelry design is a way to do that. Also, I have a book offer today. I will not go off of here without saying that. With each copy of Rootwork, you will get a pair of Black Lives Matter or Africa Dope. It'll be something Afrocentric and wood and big and nice. Books are $26 and they're hardcover, and I will sign them and they will go out. They can go out tomorrow. If they don't go out tomorrow, they have to go out Monday because the post office is closed on Saturday over here. But yeah, I would love the support. It's a great book. It does come with a trigger warning, but it is chock full of short stories, poetry, and personal essays on the healing journey.
Phenomenal.
70s kids, a lot of reference to music and roller skating and just growing up as a 70s kid with a great community who still went through trauma, but who came out on the other side.
And you are a living example of how to transgress your pain with your talent. You are talented, Imani. You're a very talented writer. And I really appreciated listening to your voice. And I hope more doors open for you with your book. And like you said, with the audio reading, I'm glad I was able to hear your voice because I was able to connect more with your story. And you are talented. I didn't know you had that in you, girl, but it was awesome. So I hope more doors open for you. Yeah.
Thank you. As always, I appreciate your support, your encouragement, and I love that ear art on you. And I love my LuvEnlightens and C.
Yeah.
All of them are really.
So I want
and I
you
will be getting Another one. I'll be getting another expression speech depression.
Okay.
Size up. Size up. Yeah, yeah.
I got you, girl. I got you on that.
Okay.
Okay. I
Sounds
want you to
good.
put
Thank
how
you.
people can find you and your book. I want you to put in the comment line. So we'll have that. While she's doing that, y'all, we do have more expression beats depression at Love Enlightens. Love Enlightens is now revived. We're coming with more t-shirts, with more affirmations. These affirmations are divinely inspired and divinely guided. God gives me what to say and what to do, and he uses my hand. And I call them heaven to heart to handwritten affirmations. I'm a writer too, and you see it. And you will see on these different designs, and I hope you can feel the love transference and the Holy Spirit and just give you that love energy when you feel it and see it. We have now collections called Love and Life. We have Love God, Self, and One Another. We have Perfect is up. And yes, Miss Trincetta, you are imperfectly imperfect. That's actually another one that I'm coming out with part of our Perfect series. So you can expect to see that, as well as so many others. And I have actually lowered the price of the t-shirts. So I want you guys all to know that I have lowered the prices of the t-shirts so that it can be affordable to you to be able to get it in your possession and with the lowest mailing rate possible. Okay, so go to LuvEnlightens.us, follow, so you can get some more of this love to enlighten your soul. We're always here to share loving messages to enlighten the soul, and ask and pray that you will love yourself, love God, and love one another. Thank you, Miss Imani Williams, for being here today. Is there anybody on the line? Miss Trincetta, would you like to say something? You said you're at work, but I appreciate you listening. And we still have a few others. Let me see if we can find who's here. We got Gypsy Glamour, and we had a few others throughout this time. So thank you all. I appreciate it. This is my first time doing a live, and I'm so glad I have the company of my love bud. Love bud means that love is budding, and that, like Imani, she's a buddy. She's a love bud. She's a buddy to love and to Love Enlightens brand. Our brand is bigger than just getting a t-shirt. This is about seeding love. We're going to seed love into you, and as you seed love into our company, we're going to seed love back into the earth and cause a global heartwarming with these affirmations. And we actually donate to Trees for the Future 3 seeds to plant 3 trees. We ask that you would bless these seeds and what you want to see how love to grow in the world, so we can change the environment of ourselves and our worlds. Hey, come on. So do that and get your
Glamour,
love and
thank
light
you.
and bust it with some beautiful ear. Ew. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sis. I love you. Thank
Thank
you
you too. I love
so
you
much
too.
for having me again, and I'm always available to come back anytime. Gypsy
Yay.
Glamour, thank you so much for
Thank
stopping through. I
you.
know you were on earlier, and now you came back. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Feel the love and support. You all take care. Bye.